Okay, I like Barbie Doll because I think that it isn't hard. And I also think that these are issues that some of you will understand. Um, I know that's about a girl, but guys are increasingly being judged by how they look. And so I think that this is something that we can all relate to. So I'm going to read through this poem with you guys, and then you are going to pause the recording, and you're going to go through with a partner or a group and do some analysis on your own. And then we'll come back together and we will go over it. Okay? So here's Barbie Doll by Marge Piercy. This was written, I don't have that date. I apologize. Let me get that for you. But like I said, this poem I think will be very accessible to you guys because it deals with some of the issues that you guys probably struggle with on a daily basis. Let me see. I'm trying to look for this date for you guys. 1971. There we go. Okay, so it was published in 1971. Okay. This girl child was born as usual and presented dolls that did pee-pee, and miniature GE stoves and irons and wee lipsticks the color of cherry candy. Then in the magic of puberty, a classmate said, "You have a great big nose and fat legs." She was healthy, tested, intelligent, possessed strong arms and back, abundant sexual drive and manual dexterity. She went to and fro apologizing. Everyone saw a fat nose on thick legs. She was advised to play coy, exhorted to come on hearty, exercise, diet, smile, and wheedle. Her good nature wore out like a fan belt, so she cut off her nose and legs and offered them up. In the casket displayed on satin she lay, with the undertaker's cosmetics painted on, a turned-up putty nose dressed in a pink and white nightie. Doesn't she look pretty, everyone said. Consummation at last, to every woman a happy ending. So go ahead and pause the recording and we will take a look at this together. Okay, so first we're going to take this first stanza. And notice again, this sentence is on 4 different lines, so it's not it. Pay attention to the punctuation. It's not like reading stories. They're broken up. Okay, so the girl child was born as usual and presented dolls that did pee-pee, and miniature GE stoves and irons, and wee lipsticks the color of cherry candy. We talked a little bit about this before, about assigning gender roles to small children and sexualizing them, sort of. So right away, Piercy points out that this is a girl child, not just a child, a girl child, okay? So she was born as usual, so nothing, there's nothing unexpected. It was run of the mill. And she was presented dolls that pee-pee in miniature GE stoves and irons, and wee lipsticks the color of cherry candy. Okay, so first of all, she gets these dolls and a stove and an iron. What is she being groomed to do? Being groomed to be a housewife, right? So right away, even when she is little, she's not getting to decide what she wants to do or who she wants to be, not getting a chance to play with cars or play, outside in the mud. She's being given basically the housewife starter kit, right? And there's nothing, pause for a second, there's nothing wrong with being a housewife. I think that whatever career a woman or a man chooses is a perfectly good choice. All choices are valid. But this little girl is not being given a choice, okay? And then she's being given a wee lipstick of cherry candy. So she's being sexualized, right? She's being told, you need to look pretty. You need to put on makeup to be pretty, right? So this right on the onset, this little girl is being trained to be a pretty housewife and a pretty mommy. And like I said, being a housewife and a stay-at-home mom, valid, great choice, but it is a choice, right? And she's not being given the opportunity. Okay, so then the next sentence. In the magic of puberty, a classmate said, "You have a great big nose and fat legs." First of all, you guys have, for the most part, gone, you're going through finishing up puberty. I'm not exactly sure when that ends, but it's not magical. There's no magic about puberty. But so kind of sarcastic here, right? Magic of puberty. But at this point, once you're going through puberty as a woman, you're able to reproduce. You're able to bear children. And she has breasts. So if we're setting her up to be the mother, the stay-at-home mother, and fulfill this societal role, she is getting ready to be able to fulfill her predestined future. But her classmates judging her, saying you have a great big nose and fat legs. Well, that, I think that we have all probably been judged by people because of our looks for something. And so that sucks. The society has an idea of how people should look. And unfortunately, members of society sometimes don't have any problem telling people how they should look. So she's starting to become, she's starting to be able to fulfill her destiny that was predestined for her. And somebody's like, you have a great big nose and fat legs. Okay. So this next stanza. She was healthy, tested, intelligent, possessed strong arms and back, abundant sex drive, and manual dexterity. Let's talk about this sentence real quick. So, she was healthy. This is good. She was healthy and she was intelligent. She was strong. She had an abundant sex drive and manual dexterity. Manual dexterity means you can fix things, right? Fix cars, fix, whatever. All of these characteristics, though, are male characteristics. Women are not supposed to be strong. Women are not supposed to have an abundant sex drive. And women are not supposed to be able to fix stuff. In the sex drive part, I'm sure that you have heard, in media that, about women who want, and we read about this in Invisible Man, right? The women who wanted to have sex, the women who sought that out were considered whores, right? And so she's not supposed to seek out sex. She's not supposed to be able to fix things. She's not supposed to be strong or intelligent. All of these characteristics are good. But because she has been put into this little category, she's not supposed to have these characteristics. They don't do for what she has been told that she is going to do in life, which is live out her assigned role. She went to and fro apologizing, and everyone saw a fat nose on thick legs. Well, let's talk about the apologizing first. Sorry, that's a sentence. What was she apologizing for? She was apologizing for being her. She was apologizing for how that she didn't come out the way she was supposed to. She's apologizing for the fact that she doesn't fit the role that they assumed that she would and that they have put forth for her. So she's apologizing to everybody. Everyone saw a fat nose on thick legs. Didn't matter what she said, they just saw this woman that they did not think necessarily fit what their idea of a beautiful woman was. So here's the advice she got. She was advised to play coy. So what does it mean to be coy? It means to hide who she is and kind of tease a little bit. Not come off as being strong or smart. Come off as being dumb. Exhorted to come on hardy. So she can't be herself. People are telling her how to live, right? Exercise, diet, smile, and wheedle. So she's supposed to, get rid of her thick legs with exercise and diet. She's supposed to smile all the time and wheedle. And wheedling means to flirt for something that you want. We've all seen people do this. To play dumb and be flirty and to get what she wants in life. Her good nature wore out like a fan belt. So I think it's very important that Piercy uses fan belt here because fan belts are on cars and That's a male thing to know about cars, to fix cars. And so her good nature wore out like a fan belt. Who she was supposed to be, she's trying. You know, people have told her how to live, told her what to do. They're trying to change who she is on the inside as a person. And so she finally, I mean, she just gets tired of it. So she goes in, she cuts off her nose and her legs and offered them up. Now, we know from the next stanza that she didn't have plastic surgery. She committed suicide, because we have here that she's in a casket, right? That's why it's important to read the poem first and then do the analysis, so we know what's coming next. Because this could be read as plastic surgery, but she committed suicide, okay? She cut off her nose and her legs and offered them up. To whom is she offering them? Usually when we make when sacrifices are made, you know, historically, this is an illusion, right? A sacrifice to a god. So she's offering it up to the gods of society, right? She can't live like that. She can't live with people telling her to go against her nature. From the beginning of her life, she was told who she was going to be, given these toys to train to be who society wanted her to be. When she didn't come out looking like they wanted her to, she apologized. She was told how to live. And finally, she got worn out, and so she killed herself, okay? Cut off her nose and legs and offered them up. They were a sacrifice to the gods of society. Next stanza. In the casket displayed on satin she lay, with the Undertaker's cosmetics painted on. Satin has a sexual connotation, right? Satin sheets, if you have listened to any sort of 90s R&B songs, the satin is supposed to be romantic, okay? And so the connotation of satin is like a romantic thing. The Undertaker painted on her cosmetics. So she has completely lost agency here, which, I mean, she's dead, so it's not her, it's her body, right? So the Undertaker dresses her up and paints her, fixes her nose finally, turned up putty nose, so she got the nose that everybody wanted her to have, dressed in a pink and white nightie. Now, archetypically we know that pink is tainted innocence, it's a little naughty, right? And the white is innocence, and a nightie is... it's a nightgown, but it's not, it's kind of a creepy word for night. I don't know, I don't like that word. But it's kind of like a sexy little nightgown, right? Doesn't she look pretty, everyone said. She looked the way that they wanted her to, and so of course they think that she looks pretty. But she's not herself. She's not her. Consummation at last. Now the word consummation also, it has a sexual connotation as well. Whenever you get married and you have sex, you consummate the marriage. And so she finally is dressed up and pretty the way they want her. Finally, she looks the way she's supposed to. And to every woman, a happy ending. Whose happy ending is it? It's not hers. She's dead. She never got to live the life that she wanted to. She was beat down by society's expectations of her and ended up committing suicide. When they dressed her up, they didn't make her look like herself. They made her look exactly like they wanted her to look. And so this is kind of sarcastic, right? To everyone, a happy ending. It's like, that's not... there's no happy ending there. So, like I said, some of this kind of, you know, it's accessible. I think that we all have probably had those moments where people, you know, we looked at an image and thought, that's not who, you know, that's not who we look like, or we want to look like them, or we're told by somebody, you know, that something about us was not acceptable. And so Piercy's poem really kind of just points out that women have, and I think men too, honestly, but have these societal expectations foisted on them, and that it's not fair. So, good poem. If you guys have any questions about it, let me know. Let me get this stopped. All right, thank you guys. Have a good day.